Shabbat Shalom. I have had a request to teach you one Yiddish word, and that word is kvel. Can you say it? Kvel. All right. If it sounds like it comes from your gut, it's because it's supposed to. All right. Kvel, for those of you who are not yet familiar with the Holy Tongue, kvel means to have this deep, deep sense of pride and joy. And so tonight is a night for us to kvel over our young kids who are not only learning to get up there in front of the congregation and lead the congregation, which they will do in a more sophisticated way in the years ahead, but it's the kvel over our congregation and our wonderful education program, which is led by Melissa Mesa.
Microphone attached to me right now. Well, hello everyone, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We are so happy that you all were able to make it. It's so wonderful to see all of the students out there in the audience, and I have to say, the rest of you have a lot to live up to, that pre-KK group. It's just going to get better from there. So welcome. We are going to be in our Gates of Prayer for Young People book today, which is not, I know, our normal book, but it is more appropriate for our children at this religious school Shabbat. Our children cannot learn everything that they learn without our religious school teachers. And at this time, I would love to call up all of our religious school teachers to help us with lighting the candles. And it's on page 112 in your books. We praise you, God, ruler of the world. You make us holy with mitzvot, and so we light the candles for Shabbat. And now we are going to invite Maura Stolman's first and second graders up to the stage, the one in front of me. Wait for Nathan. Come on, bud.
On your song sheets.
Yes, on your song sheet.
Wait, what?
When
God made the world, He made it full of light. The sun to shine by day, the moon and stars by night. God made it full of light. Lilies, oaks, and trout, tigers and bears, sparrows, hawks, and apes. God took clay from earth's four corners to give it the breath of light. And God said, "This is very good, very, very good. Man, woman, and child, all are good. This is very good. This is very good. Man, woman, and child resemble God. When God made the world, God made it full of light. The sun to shine by day, the moon and stars by night. God made it full of light. Lilies, oaks, and trouts, tigers and bears, sparrows, hawks, and apes.
Please return to the prayer book, page 119, as we invite Mr. Heiger's class, the 3rd and 5th grade, to lead us in the Shema. Page 119, please rise.
please rise.
In the prayer book 121, they gave me a part too. When our people were slaves in Egypt, they prayed to God for help. God freed them. Our people sang out with respect and love. Together, today as well, we trust God to help us. We dream of a better tomorrow. We sing those words our ancestors sang when they crossed the Red Sea. Page 122, Ms. Jablin, 6th and 7th grade, will take the helm as we rise for the beginning of the Tefillah, page 122 in the prayer book. Thank you. You may be seated. Please join us back in the prayer book, page 131. Oh God, may we always say and do what is right and good, wherever we live, in this country, in the land of Israel, anywhere. May we understand that you are our God. We pray to you. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avor. Together, source of good, thank you for your many gifts and blessings that fill our lives. Sweet smells, delicious taste, and warm touch, friendship and love and life. Your Torah, which leads us to just wisdom. We praise you, God, for all your goodness. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov simcha u'lecha na'er lohodah. Take a moment for silent prayer. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarif Karachel v'Leah Yivarech et HaCholim. We ask God's blessing of healing for all who are ill, all who are in pain, for all who are suffering from the natural and human-made disasters around the world. In our own congregation, we are particularly mindful of the needs of Bob Deitch, Carol DeVore, Joe Falick, Linda Feinblatt, Roger Ford, Barry Gordon, Earl Hecker, Shari Coates-Hauber, Merrill Hirschland, Richard Hittow, Steve Keating, Sally Keaton, Melinda Solson, and Judy Zimmerman. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem v'yishlach lehem refuah shalema refuat hanefesh u'refuat haguf hashta b'gala b'zman kariv v'yimu. Amen. May all of those whom we mentioned and all of those in our minds and hearts have a complete and speedy healing of both body and spirit. Page 157.
In your
Prayer.
in your back and center.
Oh, back inside
Yes.
them.
For Misha Vera. Now, page 157 for us.
Now, this is something for the students. The adults are not permitted to listen. This week's Torah portion is about a guy whose name is Yitro. Can you say that? Yitro. In English, it's Jethro. So Janet reminded me, Jethro, Tull, I don't know, what do I know about these things? There's also Jethro as in the character on NCIS, right? I think of all the Jethros, you know, right? And of course, the character played by Max Baer Jr. on the Beverly Hillbillies, for those of us who are a little older, okay, also a Jethro. Now, Jethro Yitro is a Hebrew name. And it has, we're not quite sure, this only the kids can listen to this, we're not sure what the name means. You know, like everybody's name means something, just about? We're not sure. It could mean, two of the things that it could mean, one of them is more, all right? Like in modern Hebrew, we say yotel, we say more, all right? Regardless of what you got, you want more, right? Always. And the other possibility, and we have a word that I'm sure all of our students are familiar with, an important halachic term called a heter, and that seems to come from the same root, and that literally means to untie something. Not untie when you don't want it to, like your shoelaces, like mine do all the time, but untie when you mean to untie, break loose, be able to function. So Yitro is an interesting character, and he was Moses' father-in-law, right? His daughter was named Zipporah, and that's who Moses married, and he was his father-in-law. He was a Midianite. Everybody know about Midianites? How many of you have ever, anybody here have ever visited Midian? Neither have I. In fact, we're not even sure where it was, or even if it was. So anybody tells you they visited Midian, question that. All right, he was a Midianite, not Jewish, and he heard back in Midian, wherever that was, okay, probably near Ann Arbor or Lansing, I don't know. He heard back in Midian that the Hebrews, under Moses' leadership, got out of Egypt, right? We just say Michamocha, right? They got out. And so he came to meet Moses. And when he got there, it took a couple of days, it was like getting to Cleveland. When he got there, all right, when he got there, all right, it was a mess. It was just a mess. Moses was all alone, and all of these 600,000, that's a big number, all of these 600,000 Hebrews were bringing every little problem to Moses. Every time they had a problem, every time they had an argument, they were bringing it to Moses, and Moses just couldn't, it was no good. Moses was working from early morning to late at night, and he just couldn't handle it, and they couldn't. So Yitro, who had a degree in public administration, all right, from Wayne State, I think, all right, Yitro sat his son-in-law down, and he said to him, because he spoke Yiddish, and he said, it's not a good thing what you're doing. This is not going to be good for you, and more importantly, it's not going to be good for your people. And he taught Moses how to start running a people, a country, a nation, a city. In fact, there are some people think that this was the first text of public administration. It wasn't quite true, but it's a good story. Now, what did Yitro, whose name means to untie and to be more, to increase, what did Yitro do? Moses, yes, sir.
Did he help Israel?
Eventually he did, of course. Now, what Yitro did was he took a great leader, Moses, who had a problem figuring out what to do, and he taught him what to do. Now, what's the important part of this story? That Yitro was a smart guy? We know that. That Moses was a great leader? We know that. But the important part of this story, Ruthie, did you want to say what it was? Helping God. Terrific. But how did Yitro help Moses help God, and what did Moses do? Moses was smart enough to realize that even though he was smart and great and all of that, that Moses didn't know all the answers. And Moses realized that he needed some help, and he had to take advice. Advice from somebody who was very different than he was. He was older, he was a Midianite, all kinds of differences. And so because Moses was open to hearing Yitro, two things happened. One, Moses' ability was added to, and that added to the well-being of the Jewish people, because Moses was willing to listen. And the other thing is Moses, who was all tied up and couldn't function, this freed Moses to really be a better leader. And what everybody can learn, I don't care how old you are, what everybody learns from this story of Moshe and Yitro is that we get out of things that have got us tied up, and we learn and we do better when we're willing to listen to anybody. And I'm going to write that up and send it to Washington. So that's an important thing to know about Yitro. And adults, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we'll study on Yitro in a little bit of a different way. Shabbat Shalom.
We rise for Aleinu on page 141 in our prayer books. Let us sing our praise to God who gives life to all creation. Your glory shines in the starry skies and in the brightness of morning. Your wonders fill our hearts and minds. We praise you, Adonai, the eternal God, who has called us as partners to heal our world. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedulam le'oser bereshit, shalom asanu k'gudei ha'arasot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adamah, shalom som chelkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kechol ha'olam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachvim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamachim, hakadosh Baruch Hu. Vayom Hu, vayom Hu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo
Page 143, please remain standing for Kaddish. On this Shabbat, we remember four who were taken from us in this past month. Gordon Edward Schechter, great-nephew of Suzanne Levin, Yosef ben Avraham, father of Barry Rudnick, Joseph Feinstein, husband of Brenda Brooke, and Charles Marvin Oventhal, brother of Brenda Saperstein. We also remember the Yartzites, the anniversary of the passing of Sally Chestnut, Joseph Sherman Cohen, Dan Cord, Benny Crone, Bertha Davidson, Ray Foreman, Sylvia Furman, Ida Goldman, Marlene Goodman, Matilda Zolkauer Goodman, Alfred Gossman, Esther Hecker, Ida Joyrich, Lance Kemmelson, Irene Konke, A. Sanford Levy, Moritz Liffman, Edna Persky, Henry Petrucci, Neil Poop, Kathleen Quint, John Rabin, Claudia Rinkov, Louis Robinson, Harry Rohr, Judith I. Sampson, Edmee Scappa, Raj Schickler, Margaret Schivittel, Esther Schulak, Bertha Siegel, Robert Silverman, Albert Sklar, Arthur Lewis Sobin, Earl Steiner, Sylvia Stern, Fanny Yavkitz, and Sam Zorinsky. Together, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad v'yibrach neruteh v'yamlik malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei b'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'bizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'barach, v'olam v'romei almaya, yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Yitzhadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei t'kudsha v'richu, le'elam min kol bir Please be seated. We welcome Jason Gold to bring us our announcements, followed by Maura Beth Organ's pre-K and K classes, who will lead us in Kiddush, Motzi, and together with Janet, our final song. Jason, where are you? Oh, sneaking up on me.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Special thanks to our educational staff, teachers, Janet, Rabbi, of course, Melissa. Great job, everybody. The kids were fabulous. Join us for our Super Bowl 57 party right here at TKA. It's not too late to participate. This will take place this coming Sunday. It starts at 5:30 p.m. The cost is only $10 per family and includes food, drinks, and fun. Don't forget to sign up for our February member Shabbat lunch. This will take place Saturday following services on February 25th at noon. Meet new people, see old friends, and have a delicious lunch. Contact Cynthia Katz with any questions or to attend. The Jewish community in America is facing intense demographic and social pressures. How will these reshape us and our institutions? We will look at the trends, impactful ways to increase Jewish engagement, and how these issues touch us personally. This program will take place Sunday, February 26th at TKA. Refreshments are at 10:30, and the program begins at 11 a.m. Please RSVP to Steve Merritt. Learn what resilience is, the difference between crisis response and long-term therapeutic care, how to ask for help, and how to respond to someone asking for help. This presentation is intended for teens and adults in their lives, such as parents, guardians, and educators. This discussion of suicide awareness and prevention is being presented by Rabbi Yarden Blumstein of Friendship Circle and will take place on Sunday, February 26th at 6 p.m. at TKA. No RSVP is required. Rabbi Denker's next adult education class is coming up on Monday, February 27th at 7 p.m. The topic this month is Observing Shabbat as Reformed Jews. The class will be on Zoom. RSVP to the office for the Zoom link. Calling for Purim Pantry Pasta Groggers, one of the mitzvot of Purim is making sure that everyone can celebrate the holiday with a feast without shame. Uphold this mitzvah by donating rice and pasta boxes to fill our food pantry shelves. Leave the food in the sova box in the front or on the pantry shelves in the social hall. Please bring a pasta box to the Spiel on March 6th to use as a grogger. Thank you, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Leslie only do this once a month.
Our pre-KK class is going to come up and help us lead Mosey and Kiddush.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Congratulations to the students, the teachers, and the families. Melissa, are you going to announce?